Hi, my name is Newcomen and welcome back to History. Today we're going to be starting a 4-part series on the Industrial Revolution. The first part, which we're going to be doing today, is going to be about what the Industrial Revolution was. The next part, which is going to be next month, is going to be about the effects of the Industrial Revolution. And the 2 parts after that, which will be the next 2 months after that, will be about various responses to the Industrial Revolution. Let's get started. The Industrial Revolution, to put simply, was really just a transition from an agrarian handicraft economy to an economy dominated by machines and industry and discipline. There's a lot of debate as to when the Industrial Revolution really began, but the commonly agreed upon time by historians is the latter half of the 18th century. Mostly that's because when the first industries, chiefly the textile industry, began to industrialize and the steam engine began to become dominant all throughout Europe. However, there's no debate about where the Industrial Revolution started. Britain. Let's talk about the steam engine for a second. It was really a revolutionary piece of technology because it allowed people to mass produce things with the use of significantly less energy than before. Once the steam engine was in wide use, Britain's economy was completely transformed. Now they could produce more than twice of what they did before with less than half the energy. Textbooks often credit James Watt or even Thomas Newcomen sometimes for inventing the steam engine, but that's actually not true. The steam engine was actually invented by a guy named Thomas Savery in 1698. That's over 50 years before the Industrial Revolution was thought to have started, and over 100 years before its effects would have been seen throughout Europe or even Britain. He invented the steam engine in order to help coal miners pump water out of the coal mines because otherwise they could drown. However, the Savery engine did have a lot of problems, the greatest being that in order for it to effectively pump water out of the mines, it had to be 30 meters above the water level, and the mines were often way deeper than that. So then a guy named Thomas Newcomen, who was probably acquainted with Thomas Savery, came along and improved upon the original design so that the engine no longer had to be so deep inside the mines to work. By 1764, Newcomen engines were used all over the country, but they still had a lot of problems. One day, an engineer named James Watt was asked to repair a Newcomen engine, but he realized that it was hopelessly inefficient. I mean, he still repaired it, but it was really inefficient. The problem was that the chamber in which the water was heated was not a very good chamber. It led to a lot of steam and heat escaping. Watt fixed this problem by creating another separate chamber to condense the steam. Watt patented his engine in 1769, and between then and 1785, when he and his business partner became fellows of the Royal Society, the Watt engine began to be used throughout many industries all throughout Europe. A modified version of his engine in which the both up and downstrokes, instead of just the downstroke, were used as power strokes was used in the textile industry. Both of these completely transformed production in Britain and kick-started the Industrial Revolution. In the next part of this Industrial Revolution series, we're going to be looking at the impacts of the Industrial Revolution in Britain and in general Europe. For now, you learned that the Industrial Revolution was really just a transition to an industrial economy. You also learned that the Industrial Revolution was started because of the wide use of the steam engine, and also you learned the story of how it went from a crappy 17th century engine to an awesome history-changing tool. Thank you so much for watching this episode. It does take a lot of work, and I love that there are people out there who enjoy this kind of content and go out there and make history.